Aloha. So it's the second day, and I struggle a lot with procrastination. And I was like super productive with doing everything else. Like, oh, someone has to do some kind of work thing, and I'm just doing that instead of actually applying and maybe sitting in the meditation and visualizing or journaling about it. So I did spend, I think, 2-3 hours doing that. And then I was like, okay, I just need to, how I usually get myself to do stuff. I'm like, okay, I just need to do this one little thing, like just a small tiny thing, just like one thing from the book, and that's it. Then I can go ahead with my day. So of course, like when I started, I took 12 sections from Lifebook, which is a course that I did. A course that I did in the summer last year. So they have these sections of. Let me see if I can find it in my journal. There's like your life divided in 12 sections. First one is health and fitness, then it's emotional life, there's spiritual, there's family, there's career, there's life quality, so different sections. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take that print, and one of the tasks for creative visualization was to write your favorite affirmations, and I've done this before, so it's kind of like easy. But what I noticed throughout the day was how much fear I have from like fear of, not that I'm afraid of sitting down and visualizing, but I think it's more like a fear of, what if I visualize the wrong thing, or what if I focus on the wrong thing? Because I know how powerful these mind things are. You vision and the thing happens. And then I was like, okay, I have to sit down and actually record about this, because when you usually talk about the fear, it dissolves. So that's what I'm talking about now. So I was thinking about that, and I was like, okay, how do I approach this fear if it's there? I'm afraid to visualize best case scenarios. I'm afraid to, for example, I would take a career or financial life, which is, those are the stuff, like I don't usually struggle with spiritual or like health and fitness. I can easily kind of tap into those, but financial is very numbers and it's very specific, so I do struggle. I'm like, okay, do I want my salary this number? But what if that is too much and I'm not going to be able to really imagine this and embody this feeling, so it's not going to work out. So there's a lot of things that go not as easy as with others. And I'm like, Monta, okay, like remember, whatever you started with tiny bits, little bit, and in the process you improved. What is different with this? Why do you need to like get it perfect from the right at the beginning? Like I need my affirmation to be perfect. So I just I did tiny things, and I promised myself to be really, really good, and I keep reminding that to myself. And so what happened, because I did write. Okay, let me share this with you. So but I think I wrote the most of it on computer. So I did write, that I visualize my career, or I would call it contribution to the world. And I don't know why, and then like yesterday in my mind there popped in, I'm like, okay, if there was like no limit, what would you do? I was like, I would create these little pods of meditation, like spaces in middle of cities, like really busy spaces, where people can just go in for 10 minutes, meditate, wind down, forget about the outer world that is super, super stressful. And I was like, okay, I'll just go with this idea. It's creative, it inspires me, I'm just going with that. And I was like, okay, I was imagining my career. I'm like, okay, I'm working with a team, we're building these spaces, we're and it's just like it brings so much joy just being in that headspace where everything is possible for you. So it was beautiful. I was doing a little bit of that and a couple of random things. This is at like now if you're listening to it you can be like, oh my gosh, like this is so messed up, but I'm just allowing myself the beginning to be whatever. So and then I'll follow whatever works out. And one of the things, yeah, for the finances, for money, I was like, okay, money and good things are coming to me in most miraculous and surprising ways. So this morning there was a little problem with the place where I'm staying, and I was like, oh, can I change a room? And they were super helpful. They're like, okay, like this is the possibility. And then I was like, oh, but I don't really want it. I'm like, okay, no worries, I'm gonna stay where I'm staying. And it's like, no worries, I'm gonna upgrade you to this better room. Like, okay, cool. It's like, already nice morning, started really nice. And then I go to this new room, and I plug in the USB, and it starts like a tiny beeping noise, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go and like complain again. And I just wanted to change the room. I'm happy, I'm grateful for the upgrade, and then it's like, okay, like they'll fix it. And I went to an island, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna rest my mind, rest my creative visualization. I'll go with the flow, hike, work out, and always makes me feel good. And I come back, and it's like, oh, did you see the note on your bed? I'm like, no, I haven't been to the room. It's like, oh, we couldn't fix the beeping sound, so we upgraded you to even a better room for the rest of your stay. I'm like, okay, this is really amazing. So sometimes it just kind of proved of what I think I'm afraid of, that, oh, I'm going to imagine one thing, it's not going to happen, it's not going to work out. But it proved that something better can happen, because one of the things there is let this or something better to happen. So it opens the space for, because what I do believe, and I know from the things that I've read, is that you always create from your past experiences. So if my past experience, the best room that I've ever stayed in a hotel is like whatever standard double bedroom, then I can create just that in my imagination. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm staying in this room, feels good. And I'll never be able to kind of imagine and think, I was like, what would it be to like have the whole floor of the hotel with an amazing view? I don't have that ability to imagine, because I have never been there. It's like maybe tiny bits, and that's so leaving that space. So I think I have to kind of probably journal more and see how I can work with the creative visualization, overcome my fear of being afraid. I'm like, oh my gosh, can I manifest this? Is this gonna be like the best thing? And allow that space to happen, but still be specific, because that is my fear of being specific. So a little bit messy, but I want to create this blog just to keep myself accountable, and also talk openly about what you encounter when you do these kind of things, and what happens. And especially like I want to be grateful for these little miracles, because what I felt when I promised myself doing this, like some things would just start flowing, and it's beautiful. And that is something that you can be truly grateful for. You meet the right person, you meet I met 2 amazing people in the last 2 days just when I started this. And like I said, I got that upgrade for the room, I had beautiful hikes, I was finally like in the flow in Hong Kong. So I think you just get on like a really good state when you do these things. So yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you for watching, and I'm looking forward to doing more specific and sharing more, and especially doing it with my mom. That's something I'm really looking forward to.